age of 8, when I lost both of my parents, it was a hard time. It was a hard time to go through. Among the people that came for the burial ceremony of both parents, because my mother first died, and then my father passed away when I was 8 years. And I stayed as an orphan. But I remember very well, even though I was very young, I cannot really forget this. I remember that the people that came for the burial ceremony of the parents, that stood a man, because everyone they announced that Ivan needs to be taken over and he needs to be educated so that he can be somebody in the future. So I remember a man stood up and he said, "Oh yes, I can be able to take care of Ivan. I can be able to educate him. I can be able to make him exactly who he's supposed to be in future. I can try to determine this person as an angel. I don't know what name you can give this person, but for me, it's so sad that he even passed away some years back. He also passed away. I wish he was around so that he can see the seed that he planted in me. I call it a seed because we are not related with that man. You know, here in Africa, when someone is to educate you, at least the person might be related to you, or maybe you call him your uncle, or maybe you call him, you belong to the same clan, because here we have clans. But this man, we not related at all. He didn't even belong to our clan. He just stood up and he said, "I can be able to help." He educated me. He gave me a bright future. He gave me a new education. He gave me love and compassion. He gave me everything. He showed me that I can live again after everything is done, after every parent is passed away. This man showed me, this angel showed me that I can live again a good life. He educated me, even though no one looked at me as someone. Even though even my real relatives that I related to, they didn't even stood up to say maybe I can educate Ivan. But this man stood up like a strong man, like a man of God, and he said, "I can educate him." And right now, when he gave me the education, even though he passed away, but by the time he passed away, he had already sowed a seed in me, a life-changing seed in me. A life-changing seed in me, and that seed is the education. He gave me the education. He paid for my school fees. He paid for my tuition. And right now, I'm equipped in IT. I know some bit of IT because of that man. I'm educated, and I can be able to speak to you because of that man. I'm bold in what I say because of that man. I cannot even forget this. Children used to ask me when I was at school, because this man educated me from primary level, and when I reached a secondary level, I decided to change my character. And I remember I got saved. I gave my life to Jesus Christ when I was 17 years, and that was at college. So when I was at college, at the age of 17 years, my fellow students used to ask me that they need to have a look at my father. Because when I gave up my life to Jesus, I decided not to make myself as an orphan. I said I will never be an orphan because I have Christ in me. And above all, He gave me a Father who loves me, an earthly Father who loves me, who pays for my school fees. I said I'll never call myself an orphan. So ask me that I need to see my both parents. And this is what I used to tell them because I had already confessed, I'd already given my life to Jesus Christ. I used to tell them, oh, you want to see my parents? Oh, yes. When my father comes, I'll try to show you my father. And this angel, this guardian who took care of me, who paid for my school fees, when he came, I used to tell them that you need to see my father, you come and see my father. So they came and greeted him. And I remember every time, even at school, the administration block, they used to say, oh, you resemble your father. Oh, you're short like your father. Oh, you're black, you're dark like your father. So I don't know how God does miracles, but I believe this was a miracle in my life. I believe this was a total miracle in my life. This angel came to me to show me that God can change me, that God can use me in any way that He feels like. This man resembled me as if he's my real father, but he wasn't my real father. He resembled me at school as if he was my real father. People used to tell me that you resemble your father. And I didn't tell them that he wasn't my real father, that he was just a guardian to me. I used to tell them I'm not an orphan, but yet I was an orphan. When we filled forms at school trying to show exact profile of ours, I told them I'm not an orphan, I have a father. But in reality, I was trying to exalt my Father in heaven. I was trying to call myself not an orphan, even though physically, according to the earthly world or earthly profile, I was taken to be as an orphan. But according to the heavenly profile, in which that I choose to be, I took myself as not an orphan because I had a father. And the God that I served, He had already given me a caring father, even though he passed away. But I will still remember and I'll never forget him because he showed me love as if he was my real father. And I started working when I got my first job. This is my strong prayer that I pray to God. The God, if you give me finances, I need to do something to pull out my fellow orphans. Even though the parents died, even though parents don't care, but we can depend on the Heavenly Father. We can receive love. And this is what I started. When I started Vangrace Compassion Orphanage, I started 15 orphans. And right now we have a growing big number of orphans. And this is so challenging. I have a number of orphans in my care. But I can't say that I have all the funds that we need. We lack a lot, and right now we are going through a financial crisis. We are going through a very serious problem. As Vangrace Compassion, we don't have committed sponsors. People who really care that they're committed to sponsoring maybe one orphan per month. But I call upon you. I call upon you, all of you, with a heart of orphans, with a heart of becoming a father to the fatherless, with a heart of becoming a guardian to the hopeless, with a heart of becoming a future to those who are orphaned and abandoned. Please join me today so that we can take the vision forth, so that we can go beyond what people may not think. Because right now, this is so amazing. When I go into the family meetings, the people that I belong to in my clan here, when I attend the meetings, they say, oh, is that you, Ivan? I say, yes. And inside my heart, I think of this, that maybe you didn't know that I can be someone in future. That's why maybe you didn't even care when my parents died. That's what I feel inside my heart. But again and again, I glorify my God for bringing a guardian to me. That's why I urge you today that you can be a guardian today. Sponsor one child at Vangrace Compassion Orphanage so that you can change the life of the future, the life of the orphans, so that you can become an answer to the prayers of the orphans in Uganda, so that you can become an answer to the crying orphans here in Uganda. As I told you, we have a very big number now. We have 279 orphans. And for all the 279 orphans, we give them food and we care for their medications. So we give them clothes, we give them scholastic materials. And above all, we don't give them scholastic materials without educating them. We give them free education. We give them love and compassion. Join us today as we share God's love for the children. Join me today as I continue to share God's love for the children. Please join me today as we can take the love of Christ to the little children. Join me today as we can spread the gospel of stopping the cry of the orphans in Africa.